Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 4, and we are gonna continue with our materials today. But before that, there are some designs that need to be made for glass. So, as today we are gonna try to make the glass material for us. So, first of all, we still have to make these circular rings and also this main big ring. Yeah, and that's pretty easy. So I'm gonna do one ring, and then we are going to focus on the crisscross patterns that are present onto this glass now. Um, Now, because this image is not not so much high on resolution, we are gonna guess a bit. So I guess that there are these crisscross patterns, and inside each of them there is a square. And so that's what we're gonna make today. So let's jump into it, guys. First I'm gonna make a crisscross pattern for us. And to do that, I'm gonna need a tile sampler. And I'm gonna try to make a diagonal parallel lines with this. So I'm gonna just reduce the size in the Y and increase it in X, and I'm gonna rotate it 45 degrees. Yeah. I'm gonna duplicate that, and I'm gonna just change the rotation so that we have um, parallel lines in opposite angles. So I'm gonna blend them. And we have it. We can change a bit. We can change their width by decreasing the y value, 0.5, 0.5, and that's that. Now, to make the squares, which are in between each of these gaps, just gonna take another file sampler, and that's it. Just need to reuse the scale, and I'll try to add it now. I'm gonna take a blend node and I'm gonna add it. Now, the positioning is wrong. So it's positioning themselves, the squares on the intersections. We want them in the gaps, not the intersections. So I'm gonna go to the position, global offset, a bit, and let's change that to go a bit here. That's good. And I'm gonna take a transform 2D because we also need some squares here. So we need actually two sets of squares. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna blend it. What did I take? Oh, blend. And I'm gonna screen it. And I'm gonna change the transform. And that should do it. Just gonna decrease the size of these squares. And that's that. Now, this this should be good, but I'm not too happy with the plain white color of this design. So I actually should have that here. Yeah. So I'm gonna just reuse. Yeah. So you can see there are some squares which are kind of filled. I know they're filled with dirt, but um, we should have some kind of color variation now from our creative side. It We are not strictly following the reference now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a flood fill. If you don't know about the flood fill node. It's actually really, really powerful. So what it does is it identifies um, the shapes and kind of treats each shape in your image to be different. So basically what it has done, it has identified all of these squares to be different from one another. So after this flood fill, we can have a whole lot of things to do with this flood fill. So I'm gonna take a flood fill to random grayscale, and you can see it gave all of these squares different value, right? And that's how it works. It basically identifies the shape in that's in your design, and it can it gives gives you the ability to have information to treat those shapes differently. So you, for example, you could have a flood fill to random color, and there you have it. So you can do a whole lot of different things with this. Now this is enough for me. One more thing that I'm gonna do for these is I'm gonna have them go through an edge detect, and so we can have some sort of outlines to the squares, so that their shape is more prominent, as to say, and basically it adds some interest to our squares. And so I'm going to blend these two, and so you can see we kind of have more interesting squares as we did before. As compared to this is much more interesting to look at. So I'm going to choose to use them. And yeah, now the squares are good, but the crisscross lines are they're kind of boring now. So I'm gonna try to do something to them. So let's have an edge detect, and you can go through all sorts of different designs to them, you know. So I'm gonna choose to go with this for now, and let's connect it. Right, so you can see we have something interesting. I'm gonna just reduce the scale a bit more. Right, and that's good, I think. Yeah. Now on to the circular rings which we have on our design. Right, so these are pretty simple to do. Let's just do one. I'm gonna take a circular splatter. It can be done through this one node, but we need to see it though. We need to see it with the design. So yeah, I'm gonna just put a dot node here. I'm gonna call this design overall, right? So that I don't have to zoom out too much from my viewport. Right, so let's use this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend it with our with our design overall. So that we can see what's happening. Pattern mount curve. Let's try to add these ones first, right? So I'm gonna reduce the first of all, let's just change the pattern to disk and have them go through an edge detect. Okay, so let's reduce this the ring radius, right? And let's reduce the scale as well. I want them to match the curvature of this somehow. I know it's not circular, but still, let's try to aim it. So so we have it a bit more, a bit more radius. Where is it? Yeah. So basically, I went ahead and made this entire ring pattern. It's pretty simple. Just start with a circle, add a circular splatter, and just whole bunch of circular splatters, and that will fit inside the design. And at the end, just add an edge detect, which will just create those edges for you, and that's basically it. And so now we have our window pattern. We have the rings that go on the window, and we can go ahead to make our window the material. So first of all, let's just give each of them dots. So I'm gonna call this um spat pattern class. I'm gonna call it ring pattern class. And just so that I can remember uh, where everything is. So first of all, now we have all our designs ready. So first, let's just create a base material. This node basically acts like a material in itself. So I'm gonna right click and drag it onto my cube here so I can see it. All right, so first of all, you have to open up your inputs. So just go into the user defined maps of this node and turn each of them on. Just don't turn on ambient occlusion yet, because we have to turn it on once we have it. Otherwise, it will just create this black nothing here and height. Right. So first, let me start with the base color. So I'm gonna choose a uniform color for it. Let's choose a nice dark blue. This, and I'm gonna duplicate that. I'm gonna choose a kind of a brownish color for this. So this is the color that we are gonna give to the window pattern. Right. So that's that. Let's have a blend mode, like these. And here I'm gonna put the window, the pattern that we made for the window. And to do that, I'm gonna choose a dot node and I'm gonna call that to here, and I'm gonna put it in. And that's that. Let's connect it to the base color. Now, it doesn't actually look like anything. It just looks like a polished plastic or something like that. So we need more maps. So first of all, let's have our normal map. So I'm going to choose a normal node and put it in. Right. So I'm gonna call. So we have the already have the class here. So I'm going to duplicate that because we are going to need it on every aspect of our map, or to say each map, right? So let's create a height map out of it first. Let's create a uniform color. To start off my height map, I'm going to choose a base gray, which is 127. And I'm going to choose a blend. And I'm going to choose a screen because I want this to kind of uplift. Oh, yeah, really low value. And let's put it in here. Now you can see that it actually gives that feel that it is kind of um, extruding, right? But that still doesn't look like anything much, right? And that's because let's just give it to the height as well. Oops, height. And I'm gonna create a dot for this, so that you know, we can just use this for normal. Right. So we have to create a dirt for this. If you want, we can also attach the rings that we made. We can node node. I'm gonna call the ring pattern that we made, and I'm gonna choose screen again, right? And you can see we are trying to we're starting to see that thing, right? I'm also going to give this a color. So let's take another blend node. Let's take another uniform color, and I'm going to give this a bit of rusted metal look, metal color, so to say. And put that ring pattern. Yeah, have to turn down the value. Um, Down like that. Right now, it will never look like anything if we don't have a roughness map. So let's create a roughness map. To start off, I'm gonna choose a uniform color, and I'm gonna give it a very low value, since it is glass and glass doesn't have much of roughness. Inherently, it does have a lot of dirt and dust, but glass doesn't have that much roughness inherently. So I'm gonna choose a low value at first, and I'm gonna keep adding it onto it. So I'm gonna choose screen, and let's add a bit of our pattern into this. Oh, first of all, I need to turn to grayscale, and I'm gonna choose a really low value for this, and I'm gonna put this to the roughness. Now it is starting to look like something, but I don't want that much roughness onto it, to be honest. Yeah, right. And let's blend it, but I do want a really high roughness for the rings, because the rings, I think they are rusted metal, so it makes sense that they would have a lot of roughness. So I'm going to choose screen and give them a high roughness value. So that is good. Yeah. So I'm also going to increase the intensity of the normal so that we can see how it looks. Right. Right. That's that. Now, um, the main thing that differentiates this and this is the dirt. So let's create a dirt mask. So if you search dirt, you will see a whole lot of things. Let's make this smart mask. So this asks for a couple of things. It asks for ambient occlusion, curvature. It also asks for these positions, but it's not required. But we actually need to have an ambient occlusion. So if you search AO and choose HPAO, you're gonna need to plug in your height, and that will give this AO map, right? Let's just reduce it because we don't want that much of it. That's something like that is okay. And I'm gonna plug it into the diffusion. Now you're gonna start to see something, but we also need to give it a curvature for it to work. Let's add a curvature node and plug our normals, right? Intensity we can increase a bit, and so we can turn this in. Now you'll start to see this, which is pretty nice in itself. So let's reduce the dirt level a bit and the contrast, right? And so let's just plug it and see how it looks. So I'm gonna put a dot here, and I'm gonna call this dirt underscore glass. I'm gonna use it in my base color. And let's give it a kind of a lighter desaturated dirt dust look. So let's connect that. Right. I think it should have a bit more yellowish color. Right. And it will not take effect until we add it into the roughness. So I'm going to take a blend node. I'm going to put it to screen. Let's just put it down a bit more. I'm going to choose our dirt glass, and I'm actually should just put it in the foreground. And let's reduce the blending. Now, this this has changed the look completely, and we may or may not want that. So I'm gonna put a levels node here to kind of get it under control. So it's up to you at this point, how much dirt you want in your pattern. So I'm gonna just reduce it a bit, because to be honest, it is not clean, right? So I think I'm gonna leave it at this. In the next part, we are gonna go ahead to the main event. We are gonna create this stones and bricks material, and we are gonna have our pattern extrude outwards, and it's gonna be really fun. So hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.